I need your attention. Please. Okay, just two announcements before we do the report back. One, we asked folks to bring socks. There's some by the door. If you need some, grab a pair or two. If you don't, afterwards we're going to go out and give them to folks out on the street. So please help us do that afterward. Also, before you leave, we have to clean up this space pretty much right at 3. So please stick around and help us clean up. That would be super helpful.
Hey, this is a great job, though.
Aw, you're so sweet.
All right. So we had about 6 breakout groups that I saw. So we should have about 2 more people up here ready to report back. I'm going to ask people that are doing the report back to keep it to 3 minutes or under. I'm going to let you know when you only have a minute left. And we'll be taking notes during this time. We're going to meet again. Lindsay will announce that next meeting at the end. At the next meeting, we're going to take these ideas for actions, and we're going to choose and strategize on them. Okay, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do. This is a group that's trying to be based on action, actually getting things done. So if you could come up for your report back, say what your issue was, and just kind of give us an idea of what your group talked about, what actions you came up with.
All right, our issue was housing. Devil's over here. One of the first things that we came up with was obviously, as Lindsay and Steve said, just presence at MDHA, just going to that meeting specifically. Also, going to Metro Homeless Commission meetings. I don't know when the next one is, but bringing a voice to that meeting, trying to empower homeless friends around us to go and do that with us. Maybe bringing someone specifically with us when we go to those meetings, just to make our voice heard. Another good idea that we came up with, we didn't really have a specific action, was tenant-managed apartments and transitional housing facilities. Maybe a specific action would be writing MDHA and requesting funds for that, or getting a grant, writing a grant offer to have that position available for a specific complex or facility. And I think that that's all we have right now.
All right, so we also had affordable housing, and I think it's the check mark. Plan is to attend the February 12th MDHA meeting and begin to attend MDHA meetings on a regular basis. Have a group there, make the presence known, develop relationships, have a visibility, and be ready to propose funding in the 2014 budget. There being a little bit of clout and rapport kind of built up. The second thing was a social media campaign to broaden, from this group to more of a general public kind of thing. Draw attention to the lack of affordable housing. As things develop with this group, draw more attention to what this group is doing. Use our networks, use social media, and I think that's it.
Yeah. And make sure you guys speak up, because I know in the back they've had some problems hearing. So.
I was with the lack of involvement with the faith-based community group. We talked about how to get the faith community involved, and think it's best to start with the community that you are already involved with. Start at your own church. Obviously start with yourself first, but go to your own church and just start having intentional conversations and meet with the pastor or preacher and see what they have thought about the issue and what they have done in the past as a jumping off point for getting involved in the future. So basically an education campaign was the first point that we wanted to get on. And after that, just judging the situation and trying to call the community to be it a warming shelter or helping to fund or be involved in an alternative housing situation, or so education first, action second is what we came up with.
And before you go, I just want to step in real quick to say, think about these ideas no matter what group you are in, and realize how interconnected all these ideas are, right? We're all talking about really the same problem. So we might choose one action to work on next, but that action could be something that ends up helping us. So maybe getting the church involved is a way that we can get the MDHA to be more supportive of housing. So all these actions can be interconnected. Just because it's not one that you worked on doesn't mean it won't help what your issue is.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I also had the faith-based, and we had a comment from one gentleman who said he didn't feel like that the churches were the problem, that it was a strategy to a solution, and we further noted that really it was probably the engagement of the churches as opposed to the churches themselves, and our problem of getting them engaged into the homeless community. One of the things that was mentioned was that Room in the Inn is a great program, but it also has hindered churches from understanding that there's more to do out there in the community. Right. And so the first step was to engage, we would pick 10 churches outside of the downtown area, maybe Midtown, Vanderbilt area, and engage their leadership, their pastors, and their boards. Educate, again, and try to reduce that barrier, that fear that they have about homeless people. And then the second action would be to then further engage their congregations and even invite them to walk downtown with us to meet homeless people and understand what their issues are and really who they are. That, you know, they're real people out there and they need help from the more fortunate. And I'm trying to follow all your steps here. Hang on a second. Educate and tear down the barriers. Yeah, I guess that was it. Did I do it? Yeah.